Welcome to AI TV. We're broadcasting live from AI Expo Africa 2019, Africa's largest AI trade show. And it's great to welcome new people from outside our continent. We've got Peeyoosh Pandey here from Persistent Systems. I think you're based in, is it India?
Yeah, based in Pune.
Pune. And you are the Senior VP for Sales in EMEA APAC, is that?
EMEA and APAC.
I'm glad I remembered that. So welcome, Peeyoosh.
Thank
really
you,
nice
Nick.
to have you here.
Thank you, Nick.
I mean, part of our goal at this show is it's trade, right? We're here to showcase real solutions, real offerings to the enterprise client. But for our viewers and listeners that don't know much about your company, you want to explain a little bit about Persistent Systems and what you offer?
Sure. So we are a 10,000 people services company. So all what we are seeing here around AI and analytics and everything, we have been in this space for 15 years.
Okay.
The company is about 30 years old. Next year we are completing 30 years of existence.
Wow.
We are a large company. We are in Africa for last 5 years.
Okay. And whereabouts are you based in Africa?
In Johannesburg.
In Joburg, right?
Yeah, in Joburg. And we have customers around banking, healthcare, and many customers around these areas.
Okay.
And we have been providing solutions around all the innovative areas, and that's how we have differentiated with everyone else.
Okay. And in terms of artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, big data analytics,
Yes.
where do you specialize in those areas? What do you offer?
So we have been part of this big data, AI, and ML space for almost 13 years now.
Okay.
Our credentials are very strong because our team were part of the original Yahoo Hadoop team when Hadoop was invented.
Okay, right.
So we have been part of that journey for a fairly long time.
Okay.
And even before it was very popular, we have been part of this journey. And Persistent has two main business. One is ISV business, software business, where all the tools and technology vendors whoever is here, we write code for them. So we have code contributed to almost a lot of those platforms. But we don't stop there. We take those technologies and go to enterprises and implement them. So both sides of the spectrum. So we are in a unique spot in that sense.
Interesting. And in terms of, your go-to-market you have for Africa is in Joburg, but do you have clients in other countries in Africa, like East, West Africa, North Africa?
Yeah, we have done work in Kenya and Ghana and some other countries, but primarily South Africa driven.
Okay. Now, maybe just dive a little bit deeper. I mean, you mentioned healthcare. I mean, clearly we're seeing healthcare and AI coming together.
Correct.
Here on the continent. We're
Correct.
seeing agri-tech,
Correct.
farming, AI, IoT, smart cities.
Correct.
Can you give some specific examples, or maybe you don't necessarily name the client, but some specific examples where you've done a deployment that's been a great success?
So, especially around this geography, the primarily work has been banking and little bit of exploration around agri-tech.
Okay.
But healthcare, not much. I haven't seen a lot of uptick around healthcare here.
In this region, right?
In this region. But outside this region, we have done a lot of work around healthcare, especially in US. And a lot of that work has been building experiences on top of EMRs. So as you know,
an EMR being
Epic and Cerner, basically a core banking equivalent of healthcare.
right.
So EMR means electronic medical record.
Okay, so medical records, right? Yeah.
So where you keep your records. What happens is the records are locked there, but you and I, when we walk in the hospital, we understand how difficult it is to wait through all that, right?
Yeah.
And how difficult it is to navigate, how difficult it is to figure out when you are discharged, all the experiences. The last 6-7 years, we have been focusing on building experiences on top, and this is all driven by machine learning and other areas. So you take data out of your EMR, you use AI and ML, you use all digital experiences to build experiences on top. That's what we have been focusing on last 5-6 years.
And is that aimed at the end user patient, or is that aimed at the practitioner, the doctor? Is it both?
All of it.
All of them.
So
right.
Hospitals, patients, and doctors. So across the spectrum. And we also do a little bit of work around the payers side of it, which is the insurers. So we cover all the spectrum.
Interesting. So obviously this is your first time at the show.
Yes.
And you've hopefully had a chance to meet some potential buyers. You've
Correct.
also, I think, given a presentation
Correct.
as well.
Correct.
What have you observed? What have you heard? What have you seen? What is what have you found?
No,
out from being here?
it's a good attempt. I found that there are a lot of interest. So buyer side interest was was not a lot, but I saw a lot of people trying to learn the technologies, and actually that's how the cycles of industry work.
Yeah, but they're here to learn.
Yeah.
And then once they learn, they
once
then
they
buy.
learn,
Yeah.
then they go back to their companies. They start the cycle. They start playing with it. They start doing POC, and then they start doing full scale implementation and those kind of things. So I think you are doing great for inviting students here, people who are coming and trying to understand technologies. What can it do? In my talk also, all I talked about not that what tools and technology can do, what kind of problems are getting solved for healthcare, what other areas for banking, what kind of problems people are looking to solve, what are the trends, what is saturating, what is not saturating, what is coming through the pipe. So all those areas was what I focused
Okay,
on.
so so what is coming through? What are you seeing in your business globally now? What are the big trends that you're seeing?
One of the biggest trends we are seeing is reinforced learning.
Right.
Reinforced learning and other types of learning, because the problem with AI is the data set, and the data set availability is the biggest challenge.
Yeah.
So one of the biggest trend we are seeing is artificial data or synthetic data as we call it. For training the models, you need synthetic data sets on which you can train the models. So we have been doing a lot of work around creating synthetic data sets. The second is learning. So basically in that you are able to navigate through the algorithm to teach the right things. So that is another area we are seeing. Example being the person from NVIDIA yesterday talked about AlphaGo.
Simon.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, AlphaGo. Simon talked about AlphaGo. Even the AWS person was talking about the whole SageMaker thing they are doing. So a lot of this will be, because in enterprise scenario, you have to train, you won't have enough data sets for unsupervised learning. So you have to train the data set, create data sets, and use that to train the model which you are able to use to solve the problems.
So, in terms of where next then for Persistent, are you going to open an office in Cape Town? Are you going to expand elsewhere? Maybe an office in Kenya or Lagos or Ghana, Accra?
So for now, we are going to focus on having the office in Joburg.
Okay.
But this is a very key geography for us. Mm-hmm. The way we have differentiated from other of our peers is everybody thought that this is a people problem. So they brought in talent, and using the talent they try to solve. We have tried to stay focused on problem and taking ownership of the problem and solving the problem. That's how we are differentiated in the last 5 years. And I think we have done a good job to be well known in the market. And customers are now reaching out to us to help them solve the problems.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, it's great having you here. I know it's your first time, and hopefully you've got a feel now for some part of the industry. We don't necessarily have every single person here that you could possibly want, but we're growing, and hopefully you can grow with us, and we'll see you next year. But thank you very much for joining us on AI TV, and we'll see you in 2020.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.